Hey, welcome back. It's JWalter here. In today's video, I want to share an update with you so you can be more informed about what's really going on right now with our US housing market. A new report from the National Association of Realtors showed that home sales declined in December, and that broke a streak of 3 consecutive months of gains. The decline in home sales was also widespread across the nation. This is because each of the 4 major regions in the US witnessed sales fall in December from both a month-over-month and a year-over-year basis. Sales of existing houses, which include single-family homes, townhomes, condos, and co-ops, those fell 4.6% from November and 7.1% from 1 year ago. After looking at these stats, it seems like the market is softening, but there's more to it, so let me explain. So for example, in 2021, home sales increased by 8.5% from 2020, reaching their highest annual level since 2006. I'm also confident that we would have seen more home sales if we had a bigger supply of houses for sale. Some of my clients in the greater Sacramento area have been looking for the right house for months, often getting overbid by other home buyers. In addition, I have several clients who want to list their houses for sale, but they're not doing that because there's not enough options of what they want to buy. And I know I sound like a broken record here because the issue of low housing supply is very widespread, but it's getting actually worse. This is because the National Association of Realtors reported that both the total housing supply or housing inventory and the month supply are at all-time lows. Here's the best way that I can show you this trend. So the month supply of houses fell to a new record low of 1.8 months in December. What this basically means is that all houses listed for sale would be sold in 1.8 months given the current sales pace if no new listings were to hit the market. And in order to have a more balanced real estate market, we need this month supply to be in the range of 4 to 6 months, not 1.8. In addition, I noticed that this is the 4th consecutive month where the month supply has decreased in the US. On top of this, the total number of houses listed for sale in December also reached a new record low. Inventory decreased by 14.2% from December of 2021. What I also noticed when I was analyzing this data for you guys is that total housing inventory has now decreased for 5 months in a row. So in other words, I'm not surprised that home sales decreased in December given our record low inventory levels. It's hard to have an increase of home sales if inventory is decreasing.
Is there anything that can be done to help on the supply front?
All of the things are pointing in the wrong direction at the moment, right? We look at what's going on with new build activity and the supply challenges there, but really the broader issue that you're seeing there is those traditional home sellers out there that are really the ones that feed the housing market. We're going on 2+ years of a deficit of listings out there in the housing market. It's gotten a little bit better, but we're still running double-digit deficits from where we should be for this time of the year.
And that suggests prices will keep going up even as rates go higher, what does history say about how that pattern usually plays out?
Yeah, and if you look at affordability, we've really seen some tightening here over the first 3 weeks of 2022. 30-year rates are up almost 0.5% so far this year. If you look at the average buyer out there shopping for a home, it's costing them $330 more per month today than it was at the same time last year. So really starting to see affordability tighten. We're now kind of, if we're looking for historical comparisons, we're in that 2008-ish time frame. So we're definitely in a portion of the affordability curve where we should be seeing home price growth slow down, and we likely will see that here in coming months. But it's held higher than it otherwise would have been because of all of those supply shortages that we just talked about.
Yet another trend that I noticed is that the median sold price in the US has now increased for the 3rd month in a row. December's median sold price reached $358,000, and that's the highest levels we've seen since last July. This is quite a remarkable stat because it's more normal for home prices to plateau or decrease in the winter months, not increase. December's median sold price is also less than $5,000 less than the all-time record high that was set in June of last year. However, what I found to be very interesting when I was analyzing this report for you guys, and you probably won't hear this anywhere else, is the fact that home prices reached all-time record highs in the South region. December's median sold price climbed to $323,000 in the South, and that's a 20.2% increase from 1 year ago. This is over 3 times the percentage gain experienced in the Northeast. Additionally, home prices in the West are only about $1,000 less than the all-time highs that we saw last July. Part of the reason why we're seeing these high home prices across the nation is due to a higher share of more expensive home sales. So for example, here's the percent change in home sales by price range. Sales of homes of less than $250,000 have continued to decline by double digits. In contrast, houses that sold for over $500,000 have surged by over 20%. At a city level, according to Realtor.com, the cities that had the highest growth rate in home prices were Las Vegas, Austin, Texas, and Tampa, Florida, all with gains of over 25% year over year. But Austin led the pack with the highest growth in the number of houses with price reductions compared to last year, with a gain of 3.4 percentage points. Overall, the housing market still appears to be very competitive given these elevated home prices, especially during December when it tends to be a slower month. We also can see this when looking at how long it's taking for sellers to sell their houses. So the average days on the market was only 19 days in December, and that's down from 21 days from 1 year ago. Also, 79% of the houses that sold in December were listed for sale for less than 1 month. First-time homebuyers made up 30% of all home sales last month. That's up from 26% in November, but down from 31% in December of 2020. Meanwhile, investors are buying more and more houses. So individual investors or second home buyers purchased 17% of all homes that sold in December, and that's up from 15% from the previous month and up from 14% from 1 year ago. All cash transactions accounted for 23% of all transactions in December, and that's up from 19% from 1 year ago. Distress sales, which are defined by short sales and foreclosures, are almost non-existent because they make up less than 1% of all sales last month, and that share has not increased in over a year. So taking a step back and looking at all these stats here, it appears that our housing market still has a lot of demand. And of course, this is driven by low housing inventory and low mortgage rates. So speaking of mortgage rates, I was actually looking at historical mortgage rates on Freddie Mac's website today, and I noticed that the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage in 2021 was only 2.96% on average. I noticed that's the lowest annual rate ever recorded, and Freddie Mac has been tracking mortgage rates since 1971. However, because mortgage rates have increased approximately 1% since August, it's going to be very interesting to see if demand remains at these elevated levels. So for example, according to the Mortgage News Daily, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage is currently 3.69% at the time of this video, and that is just below the 52-week high of 3.73%. With that said, check out that link below if you want a real estate agent referral from virtually anywhere in the United States. Check out that link below. Also, if you got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Hope you have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.